Once upon a time, in the heart of a vibrant and lively marsh, a group of frogs lived harmoniously. They hopped from lily pad to lily pad, basked in the warm sunlight, and sang melodious songs that echoed through the water and over the surrounding meadows. Life was pleasant and peaceful, yet the frogs yearned for something more. One day, as the sun began to set, the frogs gathered by the water's edge. Their croaking filled the air with anticipation as they voiced their desire to have a king. They believed that having a ruler would bring order, direction, and security to their little community. One wise old frog named Hopper, known for his sagacious demeanor, decided to address the assembly. He hopped onto a large rock, his voice resonating with authority. "My fellow frogs," he began, "I understand your longing for a king, but we must carefully consider the consequences. A king may bring us stability, but he may also bring us hardships and restrictions. Let us not rush into this decision blindly." However, the allure of having a king was too strong for most of the frogs to resist. They continued to clamor for a ruler, their voices growing louder and more persistent. They believed that a king would protect them from their enemies, provide them with abundant food, and make their lives easier. Hopper, realizing that his words were falling on deaf ears, decided to guide his fellow frogs toward a wiser path. He proposed a test, one that would help them understand the potential drawbacks of having a king. "Dear frogs, I hear your pleas, and I am willing to assist you in this endeavor," he declared. "Let us pray to the gods of the marsh, asking them to send us a king." The frogs, intrigued by Hopper's suggestion, gathered around him and bowed their heads in prayer. Their calls echoed throughout the marsh, reaching the ears of the divine. The gods, amused by the frogs' request, decided to grant their wish, if only for a while. Soon enough, a log drifted toward the frogs. It was a large and sturdy piece of wood, resembling a makeshift throne. The frogs marveled at its arrival, convinced that their king had finally arrived. The log was placed in the center of the marsh, and the frogs hopped around it in delight. They paid homage to their new king, croaking their allegiance and celebrating their triumph. The marsh resounded with joy, as the frogs believed their lives would now be perfect. Days turned into weeks, and the frogs soon realized the limitations of their wooden ruler. The log, being an inanimate object, remained oblivious to their pleas and concerns. It did not protect them from danger, nor did it provide food during times of scarcity. Frustration grew among the frogs, and their dissatisfaction with their king reached a boiling point. Hopper, who had quietly observed the events unfolding, decided it was time to step in and offer his wisdom once more. "My dear friends," Hopper called out, "this log has shown us the folly of blindly desiring a king. A king, in truth, is not merely a symbol of power, but a leader who truly cares for his subjects. Let us appreciate the freedom we have as a united community and work together to build a better future." The frogs, humbled by their experience, listened intently to Hopper's words. They realized that their longing for a king had been misplaced. They acknowledged that they were capable of governing themselves and supporting each other in times of need. With renewed unity and determination, the frogs abandoned their search for a king. They focused on fortifying their community, building sturdy shelters, and sharing resources with one another. Their vibrant songs of camaraderie once again echoed through the marsh, creating an atmosphere of contentment and fulfillment. And so, the frogs who had once yearned for a king learned the value of self-governance and the strength that lies within unity. From that day forward, they lived in harmony, cherishing their freedom and appreciating the bonds they had formed as equals in their marshy kingdom. The tale of the frogs who wanted a king became a timeless fable, reminding generations to come of the importance of self-reliance and collective responsibility.